New transportation provider, start and grow your transportation business in just 90 days. I gotta move this a little bit over because it's just not quite centered. There we go. All right, y'all, while you're getting in here, I just want to say thank you for all your support this last month. It had been a very challenging and difficult month for me, but I'm back. I'm here. My brothers at peace, so we are back on board. And I am here to talk to you about the 3 myths, the 3 top mistakes that non-emergency medical transportation providers make, and how you can avoid them, and how give you some options to help you out at low cost, because I need you all's help. We got to do some fundraising around here. So we're going to do a mini webinar for the next 30 days, y'all. Look, okay, let's get it going. And so listen, if someone told you that you can start a real healthcare transportation company for a few $1,000s with your personal car and a quick government contract, you've been set up to fail. And I will say it again. If someone has told you that you can build this business with less than $100,000, or you can use your personal vehicle to start this transportation company, or that you can just go out here and get a facility contract or work with a broker or get a government contract, and you are believing that and rushing out here to get this money, and you're not finding success, I'm telling you, some people that are new to my channel might get mad because of my directness and my honesty and my upfrontness. But believe me, I've been in that seat before where I lost thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I don't want you to be in it. So I'm here, I'm showing up for you all to make sure that you all have the real deal, that you understand exactly what you're getting into, so we can make sure that we build our businesses right from the start. All right. So today we are going to debunk the 3 myths, and those 3 myths that you can get into this business with less than $100,000, that you can use your personal car, because I've been seeing that way too much, and that you can just go out here and get a government contract. We're going to debunk it, and I want you all to pay attention, and please share this with someone, because I need your support. I need your support. All right. Stay to the end. Please stay to the end, because I'm going to give you a 14-day action plan and a way to work with me for $97. And y'all know I haven't had a $97 nothing since the beginning, when I used to give it away for free. So I'm going to give you a 14-day action plan and a way to work with me for $97 if you stay to the end. All right, let's roll. All right, so again, who am I? I'm Coach 𝗙𝗎𝗓 McGee, RN, BSN. I went broke. I filed bankruptcy trying to do it the way that had been done before. And that model did not work for me. I had to go back. I had to get coaching. I had to learn the system. I had to start a degree to understand how to build a business the right way, using a self-pay model, so that I can come forth and help you. Thank you for the like. Thank you, Jason. Good morning. Pray all is well with you and your family. I'm here. My mom's here, so that's been giving me some light. Boy, she's so funny. She's so funny. Boy, she's so funny. I tell you, God, he totally he helps you through those storms. The topic is the 3 top mistakes that individuals make when starting their transportation business. That's number 1. The 3 myths are, number 1, that you can do this business under $100,000. Number 2 is that you can use a personal vehicle. I've been seeing that way too much in different groups, people asking that question. So I'm here to tell you why that's not a fact. And then number 3, I'm going to debunk the myth that you can get government contracts early on. So we're going to talk about that. Thank you for the likes, y'all. I really appreciate your time. All right, so I'm going to speed it up because we're out of, I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to see y'all. If you have some questions, drop them in the comment, because my phone is going to die. All right, so let's talk about who I am. I'm Coach 𝗙𝗎𝗓 McGee, RN, BSN. I went broke doing it all the wrong way. And today is not to scare you. It is not to scare you. I want to make sure that you understand how to be fundable, how you can get insurable, and how you can be revenue ready in the correct order. This is a process. You are building a business. You are not having a side hustle. Oh, well, nice to meet you from Iran. All right, so myth number one. Let's talk about it, that you can start this business for less than $100,000. And I need people to stop lying to you all. Believe me, if they tell you that you can start this business for less than $100,000, I need y'all to get me on three-way, get me on a 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐲 call or email me, because I would love to have that conversation with someone who tells you you can do this for less than $100,000. I would love to. I don't have a problem with that. So, starting a legitimate non-emergency medical transportation, healthcare transportation business requires real capital. This is a real business. If you intend to be properly insured, compliant, and operational, plan on spending $100,000 or more. So this isn't for your side hustle, people. This is for individuals who are truly looking to build legacy wealth and are all into building a business. So I'm going to break it down for you. Some of you, does the state you make, yep, we're going to get into that. The state that you live in does make a difference, and not as far as the money, but we're going to get into that. Let me get into that. So here's a simple lender-friendly breakdown. We work with the banks, okay? Me and my companies that I work with, we work with banks. We don't just go out and try to self-fund this business. We work with lenders. So first off, let's talk about the cost of your wheelchair accessible vehicle. Some of you all may have seen my recent reel or short that talks about how much it actually costs to start this business. Well, I'm here again. For the next 30 days, I'm going to be teaching the same thing over and over again. A wheelchair accessible vehicle, also known as a WAVE vehicle, is going to cost you at least $65,000. That's about the midterms. Now, depending on where you live, say for instance, and how you purchase, you live in a southern state, you may be able to get it a little bit cheaper, not cheap, a little bit cheaper than $65,000. You may get $55,000, $50,000. Whereas if you live in New Jersey, New York, Philly, you know, those areas, Delaware, you may be looking at $65,000 to $70,000 just because of the price markup. Now, there are ways to save money on those vehicles, and that's buying factory direct. So factory direct would be your individuals like Braun Ability. They would be Freedom Motors, those that actually do the conversions. Now, those who resell the vehicle like Mobility Works, Model One, again, you have NEMT Empire and some others. Those are individuals who have vehicles for sale. But you can save money by going factory direct in most cases, not all the time, but in most cases. But a WAVE vehicle, where again, it is going to be at least $65,000. Now, we're going to talk about the commercial insurance. The first year of you starting this business, the insurance carriers do not trust you. They don't know your driving record. I mean, you might have a clean driving record, but that doesn't mean you're a good driver. I don't believe me. My brother was a CDL driver and a truck driver, but he was always messing up my mama's car. So, you know, you might be able to drive a big old truck, but by driving behind the wheel, you might be something totally different, okay? But that commercial insurance for that first year is going to cost you no less than about $18,000. Premiums are going to vary state by state. I had one appointment about a week and a half ago where they were in North Carolina and they had an $1,100 premium. I hadn't seen that in years. I said, run, jump on it, get on it. Where I have a client that's in Philly and in the New Jersey area, they're getting premiums quoted at $3,000, $3,500. So it does depend on where you're located on what your insurance rate is going to be. And it also depends on your driving record. If you have any type of accidents or any of that, you may see higher rates. Now let's talk about licensing and compliance. With licensing and compliance, you're looking at about $3,000 there, because just to hire an employee, it's going to cost you anywhere from $500 to $750. You've got to do background checks. You've got to do DOT testing. You've got to do urine analysis. You've got to pull their MVR record. You've got to do driving training courses. You have to do pass and pass hands-on. All of those costs add up, and that is how much you're going to, if you're going to be the driver, you're going to invest that in yourself. If you have a driver that you're hiring, you're going to have to spend that out. Okay, so just remember, licensing and compliance is about $3K. Then you have your tech and CRM, your phone, and your e-sign. So your technology is your two-way communications, your cell phones. That should be underneath your business, not under your personal. So you're going to have your technology. You're going to have your CRM. Your dispatching software falls underneath this. So if you're using Bambi, Route Genie, or any of the others, Toby, then you're going to need to make sure that you have technology that integrates and understands and talks to each other, communicates to each other, so that you can do the tasks that you need. You're also going to need e-signature signs. So things like DocuSign, Google has a good e-signature, so that when you have those service agreements that you need to send out, you can send them to your client and they can sign them and return them, okay? So all of that costs money. So you're looking at about $2K on that. Now, when we look at branding, your website, and just basic creative design, whoever you choose, it should be good. You should be good, whether or not you get a landing page or if you get a full website, it should be good. You know, that's your first line of communication in most cases, is individuals coming to your website and evaluating and seeing your branding. So invest in it. And that's going to be at least about $3K. Okay, so we're up. We're still up, y'all. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that like button and drop a comment. Put in the comments in there 100K, 100K. I need y'all to put in the comments 100K, 100K, 100K. Even if you're on the replay, hit that 100K. I need this to get seen. All right, help me out. All right, so now we have our equipment. Let's go back. Our legal and accounting setup. Now, you've got those service agreements, though they look great. You've used ChatGPT, but ChatGPT will give you the warning, and so will Coach 𝗙𝐿ena. I am not an attorney or a certified accountant. Get this reviewed. You never know how good your stuff is until you get sued, right? So if you happen to get sued, before that happens, you want to make sure that you have an attorney reviewing over your operating agreement, your partnership agreement, and your service agreements. Those 3 documents, you need to have an attorney look over and review to make sure that you are covered financially if something were to happen within your business. All right, so that is going to cost you about $2K, about that, maybe a little bit more. Now, let's talk about equipment and securement add-ons. You know, I have one client that he's out in Seattle, Washington, and his phone is ringing off the hook for bariatrics. So he was like, Coach, should I invest in a Broda chair? And I said, well, how many calls are you getting per day? He was like, I think he said 6 or 8. I said, then yeah, you have... If they're self-pay and they're wanting to go ahead and pay for that, then absolutely, there's a market for it. So jump on it. So he's jumping on that, and that's more equipment that he's purchasing. So And if your vehicle doesn't come with Q strengths and it doesn't come with extenders, then those are items that you're going to need to purchase. So think and bank on about $2K for those items. Then we have our working capital. And this is where most people fall short. They think, okay, I got the van, I got the insurance, I got everything else. I'm just going to wait until I get signed up with a broker. And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But remember that brokers are net 30 payers, meaning that you do the work and then they pay you later. So if you have not accounted for working capital, what will happen is that you might get with the broker and they may fill you up with all these trips. You may get 20 trips. Not likely, but let's just say that they do. You get 20 trips, and now you have all these payments that you've been paying. You have no working capital. How are you going to pay for fuel? Can somebody drop fuel? Fuel in the comment section? Fuel? Can y'all give me that? Fuel in the comment? How are you going to pay for fuel if you don't have working capital? You have to have a reserve, not a reserve for emergency contingency, but a reserve so that you can work capital, working capital. So you want to make sure that you have at least 3 months, at least 90 days of working capital at about 7K to make sure that if you do get contracts right off the bat, or if you do get a broker contract, that you can actually meet your obligation to them. So next we have our training and certifications. I'm moving fast, y'all, because my phone is on less than 20%. So then the next thing we have is training certifications. So in the case you're working with me as your certified transportation, your accredited training provider through AAA, at the end, you're going to get a certification on that. If you're working with NEMTAC, they have certifications that they offer too. So you want to look at about $2,000 to $3,000. So in all, estimated total price, $107,000. I say 100, but 107,000, that's the total. That's the whole total. So we want to make sure that we take an accounting of that before you even start this business. So number one, myth number one, you can start less than 100K. I hope I busted the myth. If I busted the myth, put busted. Busted number one. I need y'all to put that in the chat, please. Please, again, I need your support. So even if you're listening on the replay, please hit busted myth number one. Or number one, busted number one. It's okay. That's all right. I just need you to put something so we can get this up. All right, so let's go to the this. So I want you to know that you don't spend this all on day one, but you need a plan that proves that you understand it. That's what lenders are looking for and insurers are looking for, that you understand that this is not a fly-by-night business, that you can't just go get a van and a vehicle and think that you're going to get clients. Lenders want to know that you have literally thought this thing through and that you understand the risk so that you can effectively manage your risk. That's what it's all about. All right, so we're going to myth number two. If you're still with me, tell me you're still with me. Y'all, to give me a second. I got to sip on my coffee. Look. Myth number two. I'll just use my personal car. And I get this all the time. I get this all the time for individuals who want to use their personal vehicle to start this business. And I saw this in a group, the non-emergency medical transportation group. It's got like over 7,000 followers or something in there and on Facebook. And I saw somebody who was like, oh yes, you could start your vehicle. You could start with an ambulatory vehicle and work your way up. And I was like, stop lying. This is why people are making mistakes and this is why people are losing their money. Now, you may not like that I am so blunt and that I am so honest about it, but I made those mistakes. I thought that I could, and I learned that I could not. Or I learned that just because you can doesn't mean you should. All right. Personal vehicles cannot be used for commercial use. Clear. They cannot. So if you are going into non-emergency medical transportation, even regular commercial vehicle insurance. So for me, let's take me as an example. I'm a coach. So if I went out here and I got me a Beamer, or I went out here and got me a Mercedes under the IRS tax thing that says that the GVR, whatever it is, the vehicle, it has to be over a certain amount of pounds, that I can get that vehicle and get a credit. Listen, that is not the same as non-emergency medical transportation. The insurance that they are going to charge you versus the insurance for non-emergency medical, they are two different things. And I need you all to be aware of that. Two different things. So when it comes to personal insurance, you cannot carry personal insurance on a commercial vehicle. And flip-flop, likewise, you can't carry commercial insurance on a personal vehicle. You have to choose one. So if you have a car note and it's under your personal account, they're going to have you get permission from that note holder, whoever your note holder is, that you can sell it to your business. And that is a hard thing for them to do. So there are types of insurance. So if you say, oh, coach, I'm just going to lease a vehicle, I'm going to lease a van, something of that sort, you can do that. You can do that. But you want to make sure that you have insurance that allows you to move the insurance from one place to the other. So I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a SR. It's not SR22. I know what that is. But I've been there, done that. but they have, there's a particular type of insurance on your commercial vehicle that will allow you to move it to a different vehicle. So most personal leases prohibit commercial use. Just remember that. Commercial auto requires that you have proper endorsements, and for healthcare transportation, for non-emergency medical transportation, just understand, you cannot use your personal vehicle. Did I debunk number two? Did I debunk number two? Because if I didn't, I need to tell y'all again. I need to say it again in a different way, however you need me to explain it. Did I debunk number two? If I did, go ahead and put in there myth number two busted. Busted number two. Y'all go ahead and give me this. All right, let's go to number three because my phone is dwindling down. All right, number three is government broker and facility contracts are easy. That's myth number three. Myth number three. They are not easy, they are not fast, and they are not guaranteed, especially for new providers. I want you all to drop high school in the comments, and I'm gonna tell you why. I talked to the TikTok family about it, and I'm gonna talk to my YouTube family about it. Number one, brokers have many markets. In many markets, they have been tight on onboarding, and they're changing their requirements. So if you don't have 3 vehicles, one of them being a wheelchair vehicle, you're not getting in. And number two, they're slow to onboard. So if you don't have that capital that we talked about, that working capital of $7K, understand that brokers, even if they do bring you on, that it's going to be at least 90 days minimum. Most of the time it could take up to 6 months before they actually approve you. And then once they approve you, you've got to do the work first and then get reimbursed. So imagine going almost a half a year or longer without payment because you waited on a broker. They're not easy, they're not fast, and they're not guaranteed. Come on, y'all. Somebody tell me, not guaranteed. All right, so facilities. With facilities, I hope you all saw my recent short that talked about how much it costs to start at NEMT. If you haven't, go look at it. It's in the short section. You are competing against dozens of transportation providers who are literally chasing the same contracts. Dozens. If you've got 50 people with the same ideal as you, they're all getting registered, they're all getting their approvals, they're all chasing those same facilities. Those people are tired of looking at y'all. I'm telling you, I'm in healthcare, I'm a nurse, you know. Listen, we need transportation providers, but you're going about it the wrong way. Now, if you're saying towards the end, you're gonna get the juice. I'm gonna tell you how to get there, right? I'm gonna tell you, because I told you, if you stay to the end, I'm gonna give you a 14-day action plan. And I'm not gatekeeping, so y'all stay tuned, all right? All right, so when it comes to Medicaid policy shifts, we don't even know what's going to happen. We don't even know what's going to happen, because remember, that was signed into law. They did that under the big, beautiful bill that Medicaid cuts are coming. And those are going to be irreversible until somebody else comes in and changes those. So those are going to go into effect 2026. And we don't know how those payment systems are going to work. I have clients right now who have applied for Medicaid, and thankfully they're using my model, but they've been waiting for 6 months. You're not guaranteed for that money. All right? So Medicaid is shifting. It is not guaranteed money. Now, here's what is going to work. Here's what works. Some of y'all have dropped off, and I know y'all probably getting to work, so let's talk about what works. Number one is niche, self-pay, and packages. Niche. Wheelchair is not a niche. Ambulatory is not a niche. Stretcher is not a niche. Those are services. That's not a niche. So please stop doing it. Dialysis is a niche, but it shouldn't be, because that's covered by Medicaid and Medicare. That is not how you should be getting your money, all right? When I talk about niche, let's talk about it. For those of you all who want to be in ambulatory, I'm going to keep you in ambulatory, so I don't tell all my secrets, but I'm going to tell you, right? Let's say infusion care, chemotherapy. That's a niche. Occupational therapy, that's a niche. Outpatient surgery, that's a niche. Cardiac rehab, that's a niche. Those are niches. Where individuals get into problems is that they want to serve everybody. They want to do everything for everybody. Oh, I want to serve everybody. No, you don't. You don't want to serve everybody. Not if you're in this to build a legacy. Not if you're here to serve a community. Medicaid and Medicare, we feed the poor freely. Volunteer your time for those individuals. But your money, your revenue should come from self-pay clients. Not 2019 no more. This is 2025. You have to do things differently. You have to be innovative and creative. And I have literally spent the last 3 years, 5 years working on this framework, and I'm telling you what works. So the question is, what is the insurance liability you are required to carry in the amount? So typically in most states, it's always going to be at minimum, it's generally $500,000 that you have to carry, but most standard states have gone to $1 million terms. And so generally, if you're looking at a vehicle and that's a newer model vehicle, 2025, 2024, Sienna's 26, 2025, 2024, 23, 22. You're going to be looking for anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500 to carry your insurance. I have seen some lower prices and I have seen some higher. So yes, when it comes to insurance liability, insurance is not cheap. So cheap rides equal cheap revenue means that you're going to be struggling to pay your bills. All right, so let's talk about what works instead. You want to pick a niche. We talked about chemo, okay? Then you package it. So get away from mileage. Stop doing mileage. There are some states that have to do the mileage count, but even though you have to turn in a tariff slip and you have to tell them how much you're charging for the mile, you can still offer the package that already includes those miles for the tariffs. We have to get creative and we have to be innovative. Stop doing it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you are dealing with someone who has just had an event or who is looking for transportation for their loved one, when you start bringing out the calculator and talking about $4.50 a mile, like $3.25, $60 loading fee, $20 deadhead, fuel surcharge, people get sick. They get sick. It looks greedy. It overwhelms them. They start to not trust you because they feel like you are just giving them high price. They don't understand your business model. They don't understand that you've got a bottom line. They don't understand that fuel costs you. You know those things, but they don't. They are the consumer. Give them value. Give them value. It's the same as, I know we still boycotting Target. I get it. But it's the same thing. If you got a Walmart shirt that's $5.99 and you got a Target shirt that's $9.99, most of the time the consumer is going to pick the $9.99 one because the material is thicker, it's made a little bit better, and so you might get 6 wears instead of 3. That is value. You will pay more for value. It doesn't matter that it only costs $2 to make. People pay for value. It is the same thing in your business. Individuals are going to pay for value. So instead of giving them all this mileage, you give them service. So if you've got that chemo patient, Uber only drops them off at this curb. They drop them off and say, there you go, you're good. But this person is sick. They're tired, they're drained, they've been there for 3 or 4 hours, they've been in a medical environment, they are wore out, they got to do it all again in just a couple of days, and they're dealing with their illness. Give them value. Let me help you to the door. Do you need another stop? I'm not going to just drop you off at your appointment. I'm going to stay with you at your appointment. I'm going to make sure that everything goes well. I'm going to be here with a cold washcloth if you need it so I can wring it out and let you put it on your head because you're nauseous. I'm going to bring you value. Okay? So is that monthly? Yeah, that's monthly. $1,500 to $2,500 monthly. Yes, that's monthly. That's why you have to have that capital reserve. Yes, absolutely. Monthly. So we're going to package it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we got 6 trips. I'm instead of just giving you 1 trip for $150 and I'm going to drop you off at the curb, even though you're an ambulance, let's say $100, and I'm gonna drop you off the curb, I'm gonna still charge you that same $100, but I'm gonna give you 6 trips for $600. I'm gonna stay with you during your doctor's appointment. I'm going to make sure that you go to the pharmacy if you need to go to the pharmacy. I'm gonna make sure that if you need a meal, that you need to stop through the drive-thru or go to the grocery store, I'm gonna do that too. And when you get home, I'm going to make sure that I walk you up your stairs. I'm going to make sure that you get in, that I tell your loved one, hey, her treatment didn't go so well today. She's tired, or she did great. She's in great spirits. And, just give a quick handoff to them and say, I'll see you in a couple of days, Miss Smith, Value. People will pay for value all day rather than paying for your mileage fees. Because mileage, when you start clocking it up, it just sounds greedy. Even if that's what it is. I'm going to still charge you the same amount, but I'm going to do more for you, and I'm going to feel like a person, not just somebody that's in your seat. All right, I'm going to get off the preaching. Okay, y'all hear me. Y'all hear me. I love my patients, right? Love my patients. So package it up. So I'm teaching y'all. These are the 14 things that I promised you at the end. So number 1 is pick your niche avatar. Number 2 is package it up. All right. So y'all go ahead and put in the comment section, package it up. Package it up. Even if you're listening, just package it up. Package it up. So now, here's that third thing I promised you. We need an outreach calendar. Here's the outreach calendar. Typically, y'all want to go to, I don't have enough people in this room right now to ask you. TikTok had a few more on there. I know I'm coming earlier than I usually do. Typically, y'all say, I want to talk to the caseworker, I want to talk to the social worker, I want to talk to the rehab facility. Stop. Stop. Go where your client is. If you are choosing to go for infusion chemotherapy and you have, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, go to their events. Go where the people are. I want to go to a breast cancer awareness meeting, or I want to go to an oncology fair or an oncology event. I don't have to be a vendor. I just want to introduce myself and talk to the people who are in that inner circle. You're not coming in there, remember, babies. We're not in high school yet. We're still babies. We got to crawl before we walk. We're not going to come in there, oh, I got my own transportation company and I can provide all your needs. No, you're coming in, hey, I'm a new service. I'm a new service, and I'm specializing in individuals who have chemotherapy and require infusion therapy. I'd love to get to know you better, what you do. Is there a way we can meet for lunch so I can discuss what it is that I do? Is there a way that we can have a talk where I can show you my presentation? Go where your clients are. Stop wasting your time, your money, and your energy on transportation groups where nobody is there, on hospitals and facilities and all that kind of thing where they get bombarded all the time, and that client is not there. That client is not there. You have to build relationships within the network of who you want to serve. I'm spilling out all the tea. All right. So I told you the 3 things that you can do to move forward in your business in 14 days. Hope y'all listen. Pick one niche avatar, package it, and then create an outreach calendar on how you're going to get in front of the people who actually need your services. Y'all heard me. Y'all got me, right? Y'all got me. All right. So now, if this information was good for you, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. If you all stand to the end, this is where I need your help, okay? Because I have a fundraiser. I need new microphones. I need new cameras. I need new lighting. I need to, my baby girl, she left college, and I want to use her room so I can get out the front room, the family room, right? So that I can build my office area, right? So what I need from you all is to support me. I need your support. And how I'm planning to support you, because you know I'm all about reciprocity, is that I am offering for the next 30 days, you're going to see my face, and we're going to talk about this same topic over and over again. So if you missed it today, you're going to get it again tomorrow. I am offering 60 minutes with me to map your next 14 days. 60 minutes, okay? Well, we're going to talk about what you can do in the next 14 days to build your business right. And I'm going to also provide you with my ebook, Build It Right from the Start, my 11-step framework. It sells normally on Amazon for $54.99, and my 60-minute strategy sessions, I believe, are $225. So together, that's about a $300 value. I'm going to give it to you for $97. $97. I need you to email me, hi.willena, WILLENA, at NEMTstartup.net. It is not available for a link yet. We're still working on that. But if you email me and you say, Coach, I'm ready, or you get on there and you fill out a contact form, somebody will reach out to you. But I prefer you go ahead and email me directly so I can get you scheduled on my time instead of having to wait for an appointment. because my appointments are about 2 to 3 weeks out. It is what it is, y'all. Y'all have made me successful, and I appreciate that. So 60 minutes of me helping you to map out your next 14 days from wherever you are, and my free ebook is over 300 pages of what's in my head so that you can implement it once you read the book. Read the whole entire book before you start. Read the book. All right. So we do one per person. This is not a do it for you call. This is me working with you, doing it with you to map it out. $97. All proceeds are going to go into getting equipment, getting new cameras, getting new microphones, getting new lighting, fixing up the room up there so that I can have my own working space. So I need your help. So I have drastically reduced my prices so I can give you that one-on-one call that you want for less than $100, and you get my book. All right. So number 2, my community has been free. I've gotten you guys in there, but unfortunately, y'all are not taking advantage of it. You're not engaging. You're not asking questions, and it's not a reciprocal thing. I am a teacher, so I love to teach. I do teach, but I want you all to become community, family. Like, really, we're not in this. There's so many of us that if there's enough to feed us all, right? Everybody has a different way of doing everything, and people, they go to their tribe. And in my community, you all are not being active. And my coach told me when I started my community, you're going to have them pay for this because people don't use free. I don't know why. So anyway, we are going to start our community as a paid service starting at the beginning of the year. I am going to be offering it. Anybody who's already in the community, you can stay in the community if you begin to engage. I have a post in there that tells you it's only 30 points. You can get them easily. You can stay in there for free. But anyone else who comes in at the beginning of the year, you're going to have to pay the $97 membership fee. But let me tell you what you're going to get with that $97 membership fee. This is for those of you who get it now. It's going up. We're going into the 120s, 130s because y'all, I give you value. I give you value. Just the way that I teach you, I give you value. So you're going to get weekly paid membership coaching, group coaching style. You're going to get preferred question and answers. So when I have my Startup Mondays, you're going to get your questions answered first. You're going to get my template library, and you're going to get a monthly implementation call. And in addition, members only will get 4 one-to-one calls with me directly. That's over the course of the year. So you'll get 3 quarterly one-to-one calls. All right. So we have a new sales team that has just started. Those of you all who have reached out to me and I haven't had the time, the bandwidth to reach out to you, you will get a call within the next 24 to 48 hours from our sales team to see where you fit in one of these programs. If you're ready for a mentorship, then come on and join me. I'm ready. I'm here. We can get you going. I'm mostly working right now with those who are doing the turnkey I'm doing the whole setup for you. And if you're interested in that, come on and get the pricing for that. So, all right. So let's talk about wisdom protects your steps. Proverbs 9:10. Be wise, my son, and make my heart rejoice. Y'all know that scripture. We want to walk with wisdom and integrity in our businesses. I am here for you. I don't want to go over too long, but if this brought you value, please put it in the comment section. I need encouragement too. To know that what I'm saying to you all is being effective. Now, I'm going to get off here. I thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow on the next one. Shalom, shalom. Be blessed.